Peace everyone, welcome back to the Drawing Journal. And I think this is episode number 15. Gotten quite used to blocking off this time to draw, so it's pretty nice. Though I haven't had much time to draw this week, I didn't really get much more done on this. However, I don't know how far I'll be able to get in 30 minutes. I've kind of gotten to a tedious part where I'm just kind of working with the contrast and adding a little bit more each step just to kind of build it up. Like I mentioned when I started this one, I'm really trying to maximize the potential in these colored pencils just to see what I can do with them. But yeah, so this one's taken a little bit longer than what I really expected it to. I mean, I thought since I had it all silhouetted, it would just, kind of get done pretty quickly, but I haven't had a lot of time with school. Tons of homework this quarter. It's been taxing for sure. Lots of demand this quarter. But anyway, hope everybody's week went well. Mine wasn't too bad, with the exception of all the stuff I had to do for school. It's starting to slow down a little bit, which is nice. And yeah, just put up my second subscriber portrait the other day, so if you haven't seen that, I definitely suggest you check it out, because I would say that it's probably my best edited video, and it's certainly my best portrait that I've done so far. Portraits are always a struggle for me, so yeah, I'm quite proud of it. And other than that, I haven't been doing much. I do have some things planned for the future. I'm not going to really get into much detail, but I do have a painting that I hope to start before the end of the year. Honestly, I'd like to get it done. I have a lot of prep work to do on it. There's going to be quite a bit of detail in it, a bunch of different kinds of elements. There's going to be different elements to it that's going to make it difficult to paint, very time consuming, but I hope in the end it will look as nice as I envision it in my head. I have started planning it quite a bit so far, so hopefully I can get to the drawing aspect of it, because I'm a planner. Like when I start a picture, especially if it's a painting, I plan every detail out. I don't want to be guessing what I'm going to do next. I think about every element and when I'm going to paint it in relation to the others. And I know all of that before I ever touch paint to the panel. And that's just something that I learned from experience, and I found that my best planned pictures are the ones that turn out the best, because I put thought into the process to really get to just really get the idea clear in my mind before I start trying to create it on the paper. And I found that it helps it along much better. And that kind of gets into my first question here, which is what is my motto? And I came up with this. This has kind of been my motto for pretty much as long as I can remember, all the way back in high school. But it's wake yourself up and dedicate yourself to the perfection of whatever it is you want to do. And yeah, so I don't always live up to it, but I do my best, and I am I kind of I feel like the term perfectionist has kind of a negative uh, feel to it when I hear it, and so I don't like to necessarily refer to myself as a perfectionist. I know that I am, and it drives me crazy. So if it drives me crazy, it's not a quality um, that I really want to use to describe myself. But I know that I am, and um, basically the drawback of it is I always feel like what I do is mediocre because I see all these flaws in it. But I've really started to come to grips with it and kind of just let all that stuff go. And I feel like it's helped my art stuff quite a bit to just just I create the best that I can, and whatever comes out on the paper. Um, there's always going to be there's always going to be that other person that I'm going to look at and be like, man, I wish I could draw that good. And as far as my skills go, there's always going to be people that look at my stuff and think the same thing I think about other people's stuff. And who knows, maybe in comparison to the person I think draws better than me, they don't agree. But so I just kind of let that go, and I at this point I force myself to stop. Like I get to a point and I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't do any more with it. I should just let it be, let the mistakes be there, and let people appreciate what I've had created up to that point. I mean, I try not to be too hard on myself, but it's tough as an artist. I think for me in particular, I'm always looking for that sense of perfection, and the more I the more I approach realism and photorealism and things like that, I realize that what makes things look real is the imperfection. And when I'm looking at the photo and uh, seeing the difference between my drawing and the photo, it's obvious to me. But most people, they're not going to see the photo. And because of that, what they see is what they, as long as I capture what life looks like, most people are just going to assume that that's as real as you can ever draw. But yeah, so that was kind of like an intro and a first question. I didn't even mean to do that. But yeah, this picture here is taking a while. I'm enjoying it though. It's a unique challenge. I haven't tried to draw um, like muscular structure to this degree in a really long time, and I could show you the first time I tried to do it. Oh gosh, it was terrible. Fortunately, I'm sparing you all my terrible faces that I draw, because the faces that I used to draw, oh my gosh, they were so bad. It just thinking about them makes me laugh. Um, I used to avoid when I started drawing people, I would avoid drawing faces by like covering them up with like a dark hood, like the Grim Reaper or something, and I would only draw guy faces because let's face it, you can draw a guy and his face be ugly and he still looks like a guy, but your initial like response to a drawing of a female is you expect their face to have some value of attractiveness to it, um, not just for the people that look at the drawing, but for yourself too. And oh gosh, I could not draw an attractive female face for the longest time. Um, it was just proportions all over the place, and it's just something that takes time and practice, and eventually I eventually I got to where I am now, and I can probably just about draw an attractive face just out of my imagination, because I've done it so much. And yeah, getting the proportions, you learn how to map out the proportions of a face, and yeah, it just takes time, memorization, stuff like that. But what is the next question? Oh, the next question is, what's the next book that I want to read? And I I tried to think of one. I really did. I would consider myself a pretty avid reader. It's slowed down a lot since school. I haven't had that spare time aside from drawing. Um, like drawing and YouTube takes up my spare time. Like that's my spare time. But if I had more spare time, honestly, if I had more spare time, I'd probably draw more. But yeah, normally I would read, and I have a bookshelf full of books that I've already read in just the past few years or so, with the before I started school. Um, but I don't have a book that I'm currently in line to read, which kind of feels bad. I should I should get a book. If you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments. I'd love to know. Um, probably stick to a fictional book. Um, I generally read nonfiction, but a fictional book, those are easier to read when you don't have a lot of time. Because when you read a non-fictional book, you want to have time to digest the material and understand what the writer is saying, what the information is telling you. But yeah, so if you have any recommendations, go ahead and leave them in the comments. And the next question is what do I have to lose? And I didn't have to think much about this question because I have the worst time procrastinating. I sometimes I feel like I need to overwhelm myself by putting things off as far as I can, and then having like a ton of stuff to do all at once, and then I just get in gear, like, and I can just do it all consistently and efficiently. I kind of work well under pressure, and just like that's actually how I operate in school too. Like uh, I procrastinate homework, and I procrastinate writing and studying, and then I get that urge of uh, like that urgency, that feeling of urgency where I'm out of time, and then I just sit down for 8 straight hours and do homework or read or something like that. I don't know, and it's kind of my way of motivating myself, because I don't have any study partners. I don't. It's awful. Like, it's just awful. I feel like the school's too big to ever know anybody, and freaking everybody in Seattle is. They have no sense of interpersonal relationships. It's terrible. Nobody talks to anybody. Everybody has their headphones on 24/7, drinking their Starbucks coffee. Oh, but it's not cool to drink Starbucks anymore in Seattle. So they drink like they're like obscure down the alley cafe coffee. that some hipster makes. That's the only cool coffee to drink anymore in Seattle. If you drink Starbucks, you're a tourist. That's the mentality of people in Seattle. Yeah, so procrastination, geez, I get off on these crazy tangents when I talk. Just talk about nothing. Can't believe anybody watches these. And I know people do because they get views. What is the next question? Oh, I like the next question. The next question is, why was my day delightful? And I'm going to pause drawing really quick, or coloring, whatever you want to call it, because this came in the mail. And this is, there's Colored Pencil Magazine, and then they also do Colored Pencil Student. And I kept this little bit of a secret the past couple months because they contacted me a couple months ago, and they asked me if I'd be interested in writing an article for Colored Pencil Student Magazine about my logo and how I designed it and my stamp, my signature stamp that you see on all of my work at the end of the videos. But yeah, I have a table of contents here, and you can see here on page 6, this is my article, Signature Branding. And yeah, this is the other magazine, Colored Pencil. Colored Pencil Magazine. That's a nice article about different papers. And then here's my article on page 6 and 7, and also on page 8. But you can see they featured some of my weekly drawings. One of my doodles here that I have. So this eyeball that I did, if you don't remember, it's somewhere in here. No, that's not it. What is that? Yeah, so yeah, they featured that one, which is cool. And then what else? And then also my Galaxy Sapphire. So I was really happy about that. Promote my YouTube channel, which I'm excited about, and my website. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was the first time I ever been published as an artist. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. They contacted me on Facebook, and I was really excited about it. So I saw that this came in the mail. I knew that it was coming. I was really excited. If you follow me on Facebook, you already know that it came because I posted a picture of it. And it's probably weird to hear it in this video because that was before this video posts. Which, you know, I can't do this video every day, so things get delayed. But anyway, yeah, that's I was excited about that. And yeah, that's it for questions. I don't have a lot of time left, I guess, but I'll just continue coloring and talking, I guess. Yeah, I don't feel like I got a lot done on this today. I like to just take my time and relax when I do these drawings, so I'm in no rush to get it done. If I spend the next 5 weeks coloring the same picture, well, too bad, because I'm not trying to rush through it. Just wanna take my time on it. I think the hardest part is these veins, like to get them to look a little more natural, I guess, is proving to be a little bit of a challenge. Though I haven't worked much on this arm. Still trying to get the torso. Got this arm pretty good. I think that part's pretty good. I like the hands. Got the hands pretty good. I'm a fan of the hands. Hands are normally one of those things that artists just struggle with for their entire life. You never meet an artist that's good at drawing hands, unless that's all they do. Seriously. Hands are so there's so much that you can get wrong on hands that you can never have enough reference photos of hands. You're gonna take pictures of hands all day, and you're still gonna need another reference photo. Unless you're drawing more of a cartoon style, then it's kind of, don't matter too much. But even on cartoons, like, you gotta get the proportions correct and the way the fingers fold and bend and where the knuckle placement is. So yeah, hands are always a challenge. So I'm glad I got these hands to look the way that they do, especially so small. Like, it's difficult working on a small piece because you don't have much room for error. Like, if you have a large piece, then you have room for error. And your lines don't have to be so exact because when you step back to see the whole image, well, you don't see those tiny mistakes anymore. Whereas on a small piece, you make a tiny mistake, there's really, no matter how far back you look at it, it's still going to look pretty messed up. Some things I find to be easier to draw small, but in the whole scheme of things, like, I think that going big is the best route to go if you're not the best at the small stuff, because you got more room for error. And the errors don't look bad. That's the thing. If you got one small thing wrong on a small piece, well, then by scale it's really big. Hope that made sense. Made sense to me. But yeah, I feel like his abs are starting to look exploded or something. They're starting to look Ninja Turtle shellish. I think I need to soften these values a little bit. I don't know. Maybe once I get this other side done, it won't look so ridiculous. Well, anyway, I think I'll just go ahead and cut the video here. I still have plenty to do on this drawing. I don't know how much I'll get to work on it this coming week also. I do have, what do I have planned? I don't know, I have a weekly drawing planned, if I can even call it that anymore. I haven't done one in like 3 months or whatever. But, yeah, hopefully I'll get to it. I would like to. I kind of intended to draw tomorrow, but I don't know, I haven't been much in the mood. And I hate to force myself because it always ends up like crap. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoys their weekend, and I will see you all next week. Take care. Peace.